Introduce to you the Spanish Fork.
To help with our crowning tonight, Miss Spanish Fork.
State drill team champions. This team was assembled in early March 2018 with one goal in mind, and that was to win a state championship. They knew that they had one shot at forever.
Welcome to Spanish Fork 17 for our coverage of today's game between the Spanish Fork Dons and the Lehi Pioneers. Before the game here, we are having a presentation for the Las Chilitas. That is the drill team here at Spanish Fork. They just won state, so they are going to have a pre-game presentation here for us. So stick with us here and watch this presentation with us.
Spanish Fork Las Chilitas. Congratulations, ladies. Thank you, ladies. And now the starting defense for your Spanish Fork Dons. In right field, number 19, Noah Conway. In center field, number 17, Morley Bennett. In left field, number 15, Tanner Peterson. On third base, number 14, Tay Newman. On shortstop, number 4, Andrew Pintar. On second base, number 10, Cade Randolph. On first base, number 22.
All right, thank you for sticking with us on that presentation. And again, like I said, we have a fantastic game slated for us today. Again, it's the Spanish Fork Dons up against the Lehi Pioneers, the number 1 and number 2 team here in Region 10 as we're heading to the close of the season. This is the last of a 2-game set here between these teams. Lehi took the first one yesterday on a score of 3-2. It was an extra innings game that unfortunately the Dons were not able to finish off. Please stick with us as we listen to our national anthem. Nothing quite like the national anthem right before a baseball game. And again, as I've said, this one is a key one here between the Dons and the Pioneers. Jake, what's going to be the key for the Dons to be able to come away with the victory today?
Well, really, I think it's gonna be a tough one for them. That they're playing a Lehi team that is currently sitting at 16-6 and a 9-2 game. Really, you can talk about offense, you can talk about pitching, but really it's just going to come down to heart and making the right decisions here and avoiding those pesky errors that seem to haunt teams. This is just one of those games that you just want to play as a player. You're just excited for it. End of the season, if Spanish Fork wins this game, they're going to be in a pretty good position to take the conference overall in the regular season. They lose this one, it's going to be tough for them as they have 2 games to go, and this is pretty much the finale for Lehi. But what a game, man. What a setup and what perfect weather for a ball game.
No, it's absolutely fantastic. Yesterday was kind of chilly, but this is ideal ball weather as we get ready for this one here It is going to be Cy Nielsen on the mound for the Dons, the ace for the Dons. And in a very key matchup game here, obviously want to have their ace. The Pioneers threw their ace in the last game, Cox, and he was phenomenal. He pitched the entire game and was really just phenomenal for them. But now it's the Dons' turn to put their ace on the mound as we get things started here in the top of the first. Up for the Pioneers is Hayden Jacobson. That is their pitcher as he takes strike one from Nielsen.
As you were saying, Nielsen and Cox, two great pitchers for the Spanish Fork team. Team sitting with a 1.98 ERA so far in season, just phenomenal by this staff.
Both teams have very strong pitching rotations, as Jake just said. They're going to hold them up there as time was called there. The count is 0-2 here to Hayden Jacobson, leadoff hitter for the Pioneers. That one's going to be taken low and in the dirt. Takes the count to 1-2. And here comes that 1-2 pitch from Nielsen, and is going to be fouled back there by Jacobson. That'll keep the count at 1-2.
A little early pitcher-on-pitcher matchup to start. Not something you normally see in a ball game.
Yeah, kind of cool to see the pitcher leading things off for the Pioneers. Shows that they have some faith in Jacobson. Here comes that 1-2. And he's going to swing and miss at it. Nice pitch there on the outside corner by Nielsen to get the first out of the game. And on a strikeout, as Nielsen is a strikeout machine.
Oh, yes, he is. He has, so far, according to the recorded stats, 38 strikeouts, and with that one, make it 39. Just a strikeout machine, like you said. And he's got an absolute arm as well, throwing that high heater down the middle. We'll see how Lehi will do here as the ump calls time out here to discuss a word.
So that is Braxton Holland that you see on the plate there for the Pioneers. He is playing shortstop for them, number 2 hitter for them. So after Braxton Holland will be McKay Wall for them. That one's going to be taken for strike one and evens up the count here at 1-1. That one is going to be a fair ball, just sneaks inside that right field line, drops down, and that is going to be a double there for Braxton Holland. Nice piece of hitting by the Pioneers shortstop as he gets himself into scoring position here early in the first.
Yeah, just takes that one over to right field, kind of opens up, lets that ball kind of drop right inside the line. Just perfect play. Nothing you can do out there in right if you're Conway.
And just a beautiful piece of hitting there by Holland, and it now brings up McKay Wall, the third baseman for the Pioneers. And here comes Nielsen with that first pitch to him. That one's going to be low and inside for ball one.
The interesting thing for this game is going to be how Lehi performs here early on. You know, they have had a tendency to put up runs. In their last series against Orem, they were able to put up 13 and 10 in 2 consecutive games. So we'll see if they can continue that trend.
Beautiful pitch there by Nielsen, evens up the count at 1-1. Again, as we've highlighted, key matchup here in Region 10. Number 1 and number 2 here on the diamond tonight. Spanish Fork finishing things off against Salem Hills. But this is the last game in Region for the Pioneers, as that one is fouled away. They will finish up their season against their rival American Fork. I believe that will be on Monday. Monday game for the Pioneers. And so that's how they will finish up the season. But definitely 3 very key matchups here at the end of the season, as that is waved at. And that is going to be yet another strikeout for Cy Nielsen. Only getting strikeouts here in the first inning.
Yep, strikeouts just coming at a great rate. I mean, this guy has a 1.5 ERA, and I'm just amazed at this staff, you know. And another team that we saw last week as well when we watched, you know, Maple Mountain, they were taking on Salem Hills there, and Salem Hills staff was unbelievable. In fact, these two are going to, Salem Hills and Spanish Fork, I should say, they're going to meet next week. And obviously, it's a tough stretch for Spanish Fork here. You got 3 games against the top of the competition, but this is where you prove where you're at, who you are as a team. You know, you really build some momentum here potentially as you go into the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely good caliber of opponents here at the end of the season for them. That is a 1-1 count here to Braxton Marathi, designated hitter for the Pioneers. Nielsen making quick work of them so far as he catches the inside corner on that one. A fantastic pitch from Nielsen. The count now moves to 1-2 on Marath. Nielsen just going out there and attacking these Pioneer hitters.
Not afraid at all.
And Nielsen walking off the mound thinking he had the strikeout. They appeal, and unfortunately they are going to call that a check swing, so it's going to even up the count at 2-2. But you gotta love the confidence there.
Yeah, he was confident. Marath was just hoping that bat didn't go around. He was almost going to swing at that one.
Here comes that 2-2 pitch here to Marath. And that is going to bring us to a full count as that pitch just barely misses low and inside there.
Good eye, though, by Marath to take those 2 pitches. Try and save the count here.
Those last 2 pitches may have been balls, but they were certainly close to the zone. Here comes that full count pitch here to potentially end the inning here for the Dons. And there is going to be time called as there was a stare down over there at second base between Nielsen and Holland. And eventually Marath decided to give himself some time, steps out, and he's going to get himself all ready now for this full count pitch. 2 outs here in the top of the first, runner on second for the Pioneers. That is going to be a little dribbler right to Nielsen, sends it on over to first, and that is going to end the top of the first. A 1-out double by the Pioneers is stranded on base. 2 strikeouts, a very good, clean inning there for Cy Nielsen. As we move over to the bottom half of this inning, we would like to take some time to thank our fantastic sponsors who make these broadcasts possible and make it so you can hear our lovely voices as we talk about Spanish Fork baseball. That is the Blue Diamond Auto Group, Mikkel Thompson and Wise, attorneys at law, Triple T, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, State Farm, Lance Wilson, the Driggs Mortgage Team, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza. An absolutely fantastic inning, half inning there for Cy Nielsen. Puts up the big goose egg, gets 2 big strikeouts, and looks like he's going to be in command tonight.
Yeah, he's already pitching aggressively. You can tell he's attacking the zone, getting to the spots he wants to. You know, apart from that 1 double, which really you can't do much about, it's just a great hit on offense. He did a great job, 2 strikeouts. He's just, doing what he has done the whole season, which is command the plate and get strikeouts, have a low ERA, and lead his team to some quality wins.
Nielsen will be coming up here at the bottom part of the bottom of the first here. We've got Tane Newman coming up for the Dons. After him, we have Andrew Pintar, Cy Nielsen, Tyson Massey, Noah Conway, Tanner Peterson, Morley Bennett, Cade Randolph, and Skylar Horain, who finishes off the lineup for the Dons as that one is taken just a bit outside and a little high there for Tane Newman. The count is 1-0.
Maybe a little road nerves, potentially. A little pitch outside there.
Yeah, nothing doing there. Again, that is Hayden Jacobson on the mound for the Pioneers as that one goes the other way. This one nice and tight in on Newman. That one will roll away, and the count moves to 2-0. That one taken low, and it moves the count to 3-0. 3 straight balls here by Jacobson to start off the ball game. As Newman digs in here for that 3-0 count. Squared away to bunts just to kind of throw things off, and he's going to take his base there.
You can tell a little bit of nerves maybe getting to Hayden Jacobson there to start. None of those pitches were really even close to the strike zone. Had a few run by the catcher, actually, but we'll see if he can compose himself. I'm sure that, he'll get the nerves out here in a bit, as it'll be Andrew Pintar to start. Of course, this is a dangerous lineup, Spanish Fork. They hit top to bottom pretty well, 316 as a team. I mean, it's a dangerous lineup for sure, but I'm sure Lehi and Jacobson are up to the task here.
As Andrew Pintar rips that one, and it is over the backstop and foul. Going to move the count to 0-1. Pintar, a big part of that Dons lineup. He provides plenty of pop there in that 2 spot. Actually has 2 home runs on the season to go along with several extra base hits. Really a quality hitter from the number 2 spot for the Dons.
as a team too. I mean, 5 home runs as a team so far, and you know he's contributed 2 of them. But like I said, this lineup has pop and danger, you know, to it. So you want to be careful when you're pitching. You don't want to leave anything over the middle, anything that they can, you know, attack, because before you know it, it might be over the fence.
And he is going to try to bunt that one, but ends up taking that one foul. 2 strikes now on Pintar. Again, up after Pintar is Cy Nielsen, who is pitching tonight, but also is one of the better hitters. I would almost argue even maybe the best hitter in the Spanish Fork lineup, hitting third tonight. Does often hit from the cleanup spot as well, but this is where you'd like to see the Dons really get things going here in the first with Newman over there at first base. Let's see what Pintar can do here with 2 strikes. He rips that one down the line, but it will be foul. Again, the playoffs, should the Dons make it, which of course they will actually start potentially here at Spanish Fork, as that one, there's going to be a little pickoff move over there at first base. Nothing doing, just trying to keep Newman close. The first game of the playoffs could potentially be here at Spanish Fork. If they happen to get lucky enough to win the region, they will be able to host potentially those first 2 games. That one definitely gets away from Jacobson. The control just does not seem to be there for him today.
Not quite. But as you were talking about in the standings, Spanish Fork currently in 4A, looking at as number 4 in the whole league in the 4A division. And Lehi not far behind, number 6 as well. And of course, like we've said, you know, these teams 1 and 2 pretty much throughout the year. So that one gets fouled off to the right side. Pretty close throughout the year record-wise, you know, competition-wise as well. Spanish Fork, though, of course, has had a long tradition of putting out excellent teams, and we know that they've done a great job as a program. They've fielded great teams, great coaching, and, of course, a great ballpark to go with it, and great fans as well.
Oh, yeah, the ballpark here is absolutely fantastic as they throw over towards Newman once more to keep him close, try to keep him from advancing into scoring position. And, again, it is Andrew Pintar that is up to bat for the Dons right now. No outs here in the bottom of the first. Newman over there at first base. Another one gets past him, and Newman is going to get himself over the second base. He even kind of thinks a little bit about potentially going to third. Takes a nice big turn over there at second base, but he does advance there on the wild pitch by Jacobson.
Yeah, if you're Lehi, you might want to take a time to, you know, talk to Jacobson maybe after this at bat, and that's what's going to happen actually. As it looks like William Miner, the catcher, is going to go out and have a quick chat with him. There's been a handful of wild pitches already to start this bottom half of the inning, so you know it's not a good sign for Lehi. Just hopefully get Jacobson to kind of calm down, try and just throw strikes.
Yeah, a little erratic so far for sure, as the count is 2-2 here to Andrew Pintar. Tay Newman over there at second base in scoring position. This one is going to be fouled off by Pintar. Stays alive here and is still got that even count there at 2-2. For the Dons, they obviously would love to be able to get Newman across the plate here, score their first run of the game, and really kind of get the ball rolling here on offense, and just be able to give Nielsen hopefully a lead the next time he is able to come up to the mound.
And if that's the case, then it's going to be dangerous. You know, Nielsen's just such a great pitcher. If they can get a lead for him, it might be tough for Lehi to battle back, despite it being early.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Nielsen just so dominant. You give him a lead, and it's going to be fairly secure for the most part. And here comes a full count pitch to Andrew Pintar. That one's going to be inside, and is yet another walk for the Dons. Puts runners on first and second and brings up the big bat of Cy Nielsen.
That one's tough for Jacobson. He had an 0-2 count to start. He got ahead, and to lose that at bat is kind of tough on the mental. It looks like Miner's going to talk to him again real quick. Just got to continue to fight. You just got to keep, attacking that zone if you're Jacobson. It's going to be tough, though, when you have a hitter like Nielsen up.
Yeah, Nielsen, a big part of this Dons offense, just as much, contributes just as much as the plate as he does at the mound. And he is going to pop up a bunt all the way up to the top of the fence back here, and that is going to be strike one on Nielsen.
We were talking about home run hitters. Pintar was one. Now you have Nielsen. He's hit 2 of his own with 15 RBIs so far this year, 455 average. So, he's almost a guaranteed guy to get on base. Kind of another one of those dangerous hitters in the lineup.
They throw it on over to second base to keep Newman close. Nothing doing there. He is safe over at second base. Yeah, big situation here for the Dons. They really could blow this thing open if Nielsen is able to get a pitch over the plate. Unfortunately for the Dons, fortunate and unfortunate at the same time, as the wildness of Jacobson has been key for them getting on base, but to actually rip something out into the outfield, it's got to be over the plate, as Nielsen actually is going to score up for a bunt to try to sacrifice the guys over to second and third. Gets a piece of it, and that is going to bring the count to 0-2.
This is interesting here. A little bit of strategy on the part of manager Casey Nelson, trying to advance these runners here. We've talked about the power of these hitters, and yet, because of maybe last game was so low scoring, it was a 3-2 affair, close game throughout. Maybe they're just trying to get some early run production, just play a little small ball, get a run or two on the board.
Oh, yeah, runs are certainly at a premium, as both teams have phenomenal pitching rotations. This Nielsen will call for time there to get himself all gathered. The count is 0-2 on the number 3 hitter for the Dons. Andrew Pintar at first, Tay Newman over at second base. A big opportunity here for the Dons to get things going and to be able to score the first run of the game here, as Nielsen digs in for this 0-2 pitch. And he is going to smash it out into the outfield. And that is going to be a gapper, folks. A big hit by Cy Nielsen. And he is going to chuck his way over to third base.
No throw.
And he is down and in. No throw. A triple T triple. A 2-run triple T triple for Cy Nielsen to get things ripping and roaring here for the Dons offense.
Well, it eventually came the at-bat, the swing, and we saw the power there from Nielsen, just launching that one right into the left center gap. Nothing you can do for Lehi, and just an absolute beast of a player so far. And once again, that 455 average coming into play.
That 2-run triple, a State Farm great RBI hit there by Cy Nielsen, gets things rolling here for the Dons offense. And it also, as you see here, gets the manager out to the mound to talk things over with Jacobson, just to make sure things are going okay. It's just been a real rough start here for the Pioneer starter.
Yeah. And it may just be that, it has been nerves, but also Spanish Fork is a great home team. They've only lost once at home. They're 10-1 so far on the year. And really, when it's the case, when you're coming into a tough environment like this, playing a team with a very storied past, it may get on you a little bit. You may get a little nervous. Also, the pressure's there with this being such a critical game in the 4A region. Lehi, is a very talented team. We know that. They just have to try and fight and get out of this first inning without as little damage as possible, of course.
And that may not be such an easy thing, as Tyson Massey is up for the Dons, and he's going to take that low and inside. The count is 2-1 to the first baseman for the Dons. Again, batting cleanup here. Cy Nielsen over at third after that triple T triple that he just hit. An absolute rocket out there to left center to get the scoring going for the Dons. Here comes that 2-1 pitch. It's going to be a curveball that just doesn't quite snap down into the strike zone. So a nice hitter's count here for Massey at 3-1. Big cut, but big miss there by Massey, as now it moves to a full count for him.
And a big pitch there from Jacobson, a great off-speed. Gets Massey swinging and missing at that one. Just down and in.
Holds up on it, and that is going to be the third walk of the game for Jacobson, and it's going to put runners on the corners, still with no outs here in the bottom of the first. And for the Dons, that is going to bring up right fielder Noah Conway, as there's going to be another conference at the mound. Manager walking in, and you got to wonder if this may be this is going to be an interesting conversation here from the manager, as you don't want to pull your starter super quick here. You'd like to see him be able to finish off this inning and maybe build some confidence and give you more innings. But it's going to be a tough sell here for the managers. There's still no outs here, runners on the corners, and really Jacobson has just not been able to find the strike zone.
No, just hasn't. He's just struggled so far, and we said it from the get-go. It looks like the nerves have kind of gotten to him. Command is kind of fallen off, and it kind of piles on a little bit. When you get a walk, when you leave a batter on, it just kind of starts to build up and mass and accumulate, and then eventually, you just kind of lose confidence in the pitches that you normally have confidence in, that you trust, and then that command goes, and it's just tough to really do much.
Noah Conway up at the plate for the Dons, and that one almost hits him.
And it seems like most of his pitches have really just been inside and down more than anything. It may be that he's just overthrowing it, going too far in. He is a lefty, so maybe he just has to try and work on maybe just stepping to the plate, getting the throw over it. So.
That was definitely one of the better ones, as it is misplayed there by the third baseman. Costly error there for the Pioneers, as that is going to score Nielsen, and it's going to extend this Dons lead to 3-0 on the unfortunate error over there by McKay Wall for the Pioneers.
Yeah, that was a makeable play, Tough play, but a makeable one if you're Wall over there.
Of course, it moves Massey over to second, and now up for the Dons and trying to bunt and get a sacrifice there is Tanner Peterson, the left fielder for the Dons. It's going to be an 0-1 count after that miss on the bunt. Again, that's Tyson Massey over there at second base. Noah Conway over there at first. That is going to be strike 2 on Peterson. Again, a very eventful bottom half of the first here. It is 3-0, the Dons over the Pioneers. No outs yet, as Jacobson has really struggled on the mound for the Pioneers. There's that 0-2. It is lifted out into the outfield. And there's going to be a nice play over there by the center fielder, and that is going to be the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the first.
Crazy. It's taken that long to get the first out, but at least you get the out, and maybe you can start to build on it here, get a couple more, limit the damage.
It's going to bring up Morley Bennett for the Dons, playing center field tonight. Normally Cy Nielsen's position, but as he is on the mound, it is Morley Bennett out there in center. He's got runners on first and second with one out here in the bottom of the first. Big cut at that high pitch, just gets a piece of it foul. Count is 0-1 to Bennett. Up after Bennett would be Cade Randolph, and then Skylar Horine at the bottom of the order, so potentially could hit around here, as that's going to actually be an 0-2 count here to Bennett, as it looks like Jacobson may be finding something here on the mound.
Yeah, potentially here. You get that one out, just got to build on it here, get a little bit of confidence. He's a good pitcher. He can fight through this.
Oh, a fantastic curveball right there on the outside part of the plate. Just absolutely freezes up Morley Bennett for the second out of the inning.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 10, Cade Randolph.
It's Cade Randolph coming up to bat for the Dons, the number 8 hitter in the lineup today. Jacobson now working with 2 outs here, still runners on first and second, so not out of the jam just yet. Oh, another beautiful curveball just snapped over the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, now he's starting to find his location here. It looked like he was overthrowing, spiking pitches into the ground, just throwing wildly, and now it looks like he's kind of composed himself and gotten control of the zone.
Here's that 0-1 pitch to Randolph. Really working that outside corner now to these right-handed hitters. The count is now 0-2. Yeah, as you were saying there, Jake, most of his throws have been low and inside to these righties, and now he's really just found a nice little spot on the outside corner. He's going to find it again, this time ripped down the line. A nice play by Wall to get the force out at third base, and that is going to end the inning here, but not before the Dons put up 3 runs. A big 2-run triple by Nielsen really got this offense rolling. As we head to the second, it is 3-0 Dons over the Pioneers. We will get you the second inning when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
In the bottom of the first inning.
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street Crater, the mother of all potholes. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you too.
You ain't nothing!
Go with the one that's here to help life go right.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbors State Farm agent Lance Wilson.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17, and we have some dancing cameramen here as we come up to the top half of the second inning. Our wonderful cameramen Travis and Adam, who are out there tonight doing a great job, along with the rest of our Spanish Fork 17 crew. It is as I said, the top of the second here. The score is 3-0, the Dons over the Pioneers in this key Region 10 matchup. Big swing and just barely tapped there by Hunter Herrera, who is going to be leading things off here in the second inning. The count is now 1-1 to him. That one is ripped but foul. Moves the count to 1-2.
You know, I was going to say, who needs cheerleaders when you got us here at Spanish Fork 17?
Absolutely. We got all of the moves as the count now moves to 2-2 on Herrera. After Herrera will be Dylan Coe and Tyson Eager for the Pioneers, hoping to get themselves out of this 3-run hole. That is not how to do it, though, with strike 3, the third strikeout of the game for Cy Nielsen.
Nielsen's in his bag right now, isn't he? He's just going at it. He's attacking, and, you know, he's got full confidence right now against his lineup.
Yeah, thus far it has been every other batter has been a strikeout here for him. So that's going to paint the outside corner. A beautiful pitch there to Dylan Coe. Count is 0-1.
And he really is going at a frantic pace. The ump had to call time there just to slow things down a bit, actually.
Oh, absolutely. Nielsen is a just no frills, all business type pitcher. That is strike 2, and already Coe is in a early 0-2 hole.
He went back to the same pitch there that second time, another curveball in the bottom corner.
And why not go for it again? This time, though, Coe is able to spoil it.
He has just painted that bottom right corner so far. It's just been almost every other pitch, it feels like. Just framing it perfectly, too, is the catcher, Skylar Horheim.
All right, doing a good job back there. Looks like they're trying to elevate this one, trying to get him to chase, and he does not do it. So that will move the count to 1-2 here to Dylan Coe. 1 out here in the top of the second. 3-0 lead here for the Dons. That one is going to be tapped lightly towards Newman. Newman makes a nice play. Unfortunately, Massey not able to dig that one up. And so that is going to take Coe over to second base. Oh, a beautiful play over there. But unfortunately, the tag not applied in time as Coe gets himself all nice and dirty and is able to be safe over there at second base.
Yeah, on the pass ball there, that was a really close play over there at second. Cade Randolph came over to try and make the tag, and it was a bang-bang play. The ump there standing over near, kind of on the second base line towards first, kind of makes the judgment call there, and he calls him safe. So a big momentum swing here for Lehi, potentially get a runner in scoring position here with 1 out.
Now he's going to be taken for ball 1 to Tyson Eager, the second baseman for the Pioneers. That'll be a single there by Dylan Coe, an infield single, but then an error, a throwing error there by Newman is what advances Coe over to second base. Lifted up into the air, potentially playable for Noah Conway, and it gets beyond him, beyond the fence there, so unable to make the play there. Going to be just a loud strike there on Tyson Eager, and it'll even up the count at 1-1. Dylan Coe over at second base for the Pioneers in scoring position with one out here in the top of the second inning. Big swing, big miss at the high cheese there by Eager. Moves the count to 1-2.
That was just a nasty pitch there when you look at that. I was just taking a second to think about it. Just a high fastball there, mixing the elevations.
And that is going to get past Horine.
Oh, it's going
to get past Newman as well. And there were those errors that you were talking about. And it is going to cost the Dons some throwing errors there. And that is going to cut into this lead a little bit as the Pioneers score their first run of the game. The score is now 3-1 after that series of unfortunate throws by the Dons.
Well, it wasn't pretty there for Lehi, but you take whatever you can get, honestly, you know, being down 3-0, now 3-1. And just a base running, good base running there.
And that one is going to be ripped towards the shortstop. Pintar makes a nice play over there, sends it over to first, and that is going to be the second out of the top of the second inning here.
Of course, you ground out there, but like going back to that at bat before, once again, just a much-needed run, I think, for the Pioneers to just try and close that gap a little bit. You know, it looked like all Spanish Fork that first inning. If Lehi can just get close, you know, and keep this safe.
That one's going to be sent out into the outfield. Not quite in the outfield, just a little pop-up there to Pintar as he gets two putouts there in this inning, and it finally puts the Pioneers away, but not before they were able to score on a couple of throwing errors. Dylan Coe scores the first run of the game for the Pioneers. The score is 3-1 as we move over to the bottom half of the second inning, which gives us an opportunity to thank our wonderful sponsors.
Yeah, of course, Spanish 417 broadcast is brought to you by the Blue Diamond Auto Group, the attorneys at law of McKell, Thompson & Wise, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, the State Farm offices of Lance Wilson, the Driggs Mortgage Team, MVP Sports, and 2 Jack's Pizza. We thank all of our sponsors for providing coverage and assisting us with the production of today's ball game. And, of course, our next game is next week, actually, in a matter of a few days on Monday the 6th at 3:30. We have Spanish Fork, this team, right here playing against Salem Hills. And once again, like we stated earlier, another critical game for the Dons as they try and take first place here in the Region 10 division.
Huge game. That is the first of 2 games against Salem Hills to finish off the regular season. And Salem Hills is right up there with the Dons and with the Pioneers in the region, as that one is sharply fouled off by Skylar Horain, the catcher for the Dons and the number 9 hitter in their lineup.
Salem Hills definitely a team not to be slept on. They're sitting there quietly in third. And another good quality team that's going to be ready for the playoffs.
Now is going to be taken outside. It evens up the count to 1-1. Again, through 2 innings here, the score is 3-1, a 2-run advantage here for the Dons in the bottom of the second. That one is ripped right up the middle, and that is going to be a base hit for Horain, who comes up as the leadoff hitter for the Dons here in the top of the second and delivers with a leadoff single.
Yeah, and Holland looks a little bit shaken up there at short. He made a sprawling effort to try and grab that slow roller up the middle. Came up looking like he was maybe holding his hand, maybe just a little bit shaken up after making that diving attempt, but he seems to be fine, it looks like, back to shortstop and playing the position.
Yeah, fantastic effort over there by Holland. Good thing that he did not get injured there, as the top of the order is up once again for the Dons. Tane Newman digging in. He was walked in his first at bat. This one just barely able to get that bunt off, and it does get Horan over there to second base, a nicely executed sacrifice bunt by Newman.
Now batting number 4, Andrew
He's going to bring up Andrew
Pintar.
Pintar, who walked in his first at bat. Walked on a full count. He actually was down 0-2 in his at bat and was able to work a walk out of it. So we'll see what Andrew Pintar is able to do here in his second at bat. That is Horan over there at second base in scoring position for Pintar. Oh, a crazy looking swing there. Just didn't quite know what to do there. Got kind of tied up. And that is going to be strike one on Pintar.
Yeah, I don't know if that one hit him or not. It kind of looked like it did, but he made a swinging effort at it. I think he just kind of froze, not knowing what to do. But anyways, he takes the strike there for 0-1.
Yeah, certainly the way that he reacted made it seem like he got hit, but yeah, just was not quite able to hold up on that one. So 0-1 here to Pintar with 1 out in the bottom of the second. They will throw over to second base. Horan will be safe over there. Want to keep him close in case Pintar is able to drive something. They would hope to be able to keep Horan from scoring. 0-1 pitch here to Pintar. He is going to lift that one, but it is going to be popped away foul. It's going to move the count to 0-2 on Pintar.
Of course, Pintar, a dangerous hitter. But Spanish Fork so far this game has really been trying to just put the bunts down, and they've just been trying to advance runners so far, playing a little bit of small ball, mixed in with a couple of key hits, and really that's kind of been their mojo so far. It's gotten them 3 runs in the first. It's gotten them another opportunity here in the second. Of course, Pintar could swing here. He's got a dangerous bat.
Certainly does. Here comes that 0-2 pitch. That is going to be just a bit outside there for ball 1. Moves the count to 1-2. And Hayden Jacobson still on the mound for the Pioneers. And that one is going to hit Pintar.
Oh, but the ball is going by. Look at this. It's going to be a run scored there by Spanish Fork.
And
just a lack of awareness by Minor there. Going back, just kind of not sure what to do. And it looks like Jacobson's going to have a word with the ump. I don't think Lehi was expecting, they expected that to be a dead ball because of the walk.
Yeah, they certainly did, is what it looks like. There's going to be some further discussion. Oh, they may even actually say that it didn't even hit Pintar, as he's digging back into the batter's box, it looks like. Very interesting turn of events here, as it's going to still score the run, but it didn't actually hit Pintar, so it's a pass ball that Horan was able to book it from second all the way home. So the score is 4-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. So a three-run lead for the Dons, as you see a discussion here between the ump and the Lehi head coach, just trying to sort out what exactly just happened.
Yeah, Lehi, the team itself, they all just kind of are just standing still right now. They're not sure what to do. I don't think Minor was expecting that to be a live ball. It just kind of passed there, and he just kind of walked towards the backstop. And that was good awareness by the base runner there for the Dons, going around third and just running in, unimpeded basically. Nothing, I don't know what you can do if you're Lehi there. Just bad luck so far, mixed with some errors and some poor pitching. It's gotten them in a hole.
Yeah, it's really an unfortunate break, because you think that the catcher would have hustled a little bit more if he knew that ball was live, would have gotten to the backstop a lot quicker and been potentially able to stop Horan from scoring on that pass ball. But again, from all indications, it looked like it was a hit by pitch and that Pintar was heading over to first, and then all of a sudden it wasn't that. So we've got a even count here at 2-2. For Andrew Pintar, again, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. This one is going to be lightly fouled away back here by the backstop. So Pintar stays alive here on that 2-2 count.
Yeah, that really is a rough break for the Pioneers. Looking back at that, you know, you really can't blame yourselves. Now that you think about it, the umpire really had to make that play sooner, kind of call that out. But at the same time, you kind of have to have the awareness as the player, you know, to play everything out.
Pintar crushes that one out to the outfield. Unfortunately for him, it is right at the left fielder for the Pioneers. Nice play over there for Dylan Coe. It's going to be the second out of the inning for the Dons, but it is going to bring up Cy Nielsen. Nielsen, of course, started the party in the first with a triple T two-run triple in the first inning, and so has another opportunity here to potentially get another hit and maybe start a two-out rally here for the Dons.
Yeah, potentially. Already has 2 driven in today, and 15 so far heading into this year that have been recorded so far, at least. He's really just the heart and soul of this team, isn't he?
He really is. He really is. I mean, he bats third or fourth in the lineup as a big run producer in their lineup, and then he's their star on the mound. He's absolutely phenomenal. Even last year, this was where he was at as just a youngin, and so here he is now digging into the plate as the heart and soul of the lineup, and really the heart and soul of this team, and can help himself out on the mound here with a base hit, as there's going to be time called. Get himself prepared here. Again, the score is 4-1, 3-run advantage here for the Dons over the Pioneers in this Key Region 10 matchup. Big rip is going to be fouled away there by Nielsen. Count is 0-1.
And Nielsen already not afraid to take a hack at that first pitch. Already coming out swinging. Whatever is coming across the plate, it looks like he's going to attack it.
And that one is going to hit him. This time actually hits. And that is going to move Nielsen over to first base. Not the result that you always want, but you know, the hit by pitch does at least get you on base.
Not fun though if you're Nielsen. I never liked those as a player. You know, getting hit, especially in that ankle area, you know, anything hurts pretty much, but take one for the team, I guess.
Absolutely. It stings, but the walk over to first makes it feel a little bit better, as it's Tyson Massey digging in for the Dons here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. That one is going to be just barely outside there for ball 1 to Massey.
It really seems like the Dons, despite, you know, the wild pitches here by Jacobson, have really just stayed poised. They've been able to stay in the box and really just be patient with the pitches.
That one's going to be popped up. A nice play over there at second base is going to end the inning. Another run across for the Spanish Fork Dons. The score is 4-1 heading into the third, and we will get you more of today's action when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Thompson & Wise.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. It is the top of the third of this Key Region 10 matchup between the Spanish Fork Dons and the Lehi Pioneers. During the break, we did see the Lehi Pioneers coach discussing things with the umpire just to, again, kind of figure out what all happened there in the bottom of the second, as the Dons were able to score a run on a kind of an unusual play, as that ball is ripped over to second base. But a nice play over there to get the line out and a quick first out here in the top of the third.
Once again, Cy Nielsen getting off to a good start here. First pitch, first swing, right off to Cade Randolph over there second.
So line out over there to second base is the first out of the inning. It is a 1-0 count here to Gentry Cox, who is the number 9 hitter for the Pioneers. Coming up after him will be Hayden Jacobson. The top of the order will be up once again for the Pioneers, as that one's going to be taken outside. It's going to be a 2-0 count now here to Gentry Cox. Again, Nielsen does not mess around, goes right for it. This one outside once more, and a nice count here for Gentry Cox, 3-0.
Actually, that would be Jacobson, I believe, the pitcher there. It's up to bat.
My apologies, it was Cox that...
What do I know? I have terrible vision.
That is going to be a walk, and yes, you are right. That is Jacobson that takes the walk. So we are back to the top of the order of things for the Pioneers. He will be on base here with one out in the top of the third. Brings up Braxton Holland once more. Holland had a double in the first, but was unable to score. It looked like things were going to get going for the Pioneers there in the first, but Nielsen made quick work of them in the first and was able to strand Holland over there at second base. That one's going to be high and outside for ball one.
You know, besides the error, he's the only one that has really gotten anything off of Nielsen so far. The only hit pretty much of the game at this point.
That 1-0 pitch is spoiled away there by Holland. Evens up the count to 1-1.
Of course, we talk about Nielsen and how well he's pitched, but I mean, as a team, you have a 1.98 ERA. Obviously, it's not just you that's doing the work. It's been a team effort from all of these guys. You look at other people here like Tave Newman, number 14, also Mason Nielsen, number 18, who has, you know, those three together, they've just all been excellent. Looking at their ERAs, you got a .34 ERA for Nielsen so far, who's pitched 5 times. I mean, if you have a .34 ERA, nobody's getting on base, nobody's scoring on you. You know, it's a complete shutdown pitcher.
Mason Nielsen has been absolutely impressive thus far this season, as that one is also spoiled away. It's going to move the count here to 1-2 on Holland, and it really has been a tag team effort, as you said, Jake. It's been both Nielsen's, it's been Mason Olson, who's had some quality starts for the Dons as well. It's been relief pitchers Newman, Pintar has also come in and pitched some quality innings as well. So they're just getting contributions all over the place on the mound. As that one is also just barely spoiled away there by Holland, so he stays alive here in this 1-2 count.
Yeah, and manager Nelson, you know, really isn't afraid to throw anybody in there, honestly. And you look at the stats, the pitching stats so far this year, you know, they've thrown in, you know, look at like maybe 8, 9 different players into, you know, put in some form of relief or start a game or do something. And for the most part, all of them have done a fabulous job of pitching and have really done great. And I think, you know, chalk it up to talent, coaching, a mix of the two. They just really have it going on this year, and they definitely have looked well so far to start this game.
That one's going to be taken for a ball. Evens up the count to 2-2. And it's Braxton Holland at the plate for the Pioneers. Hayden Jacobson over there at first base. Top of the third here in this key Region 10 matchup. And here comes that 2-2 pitch here. And it is going to be ripped right in between second and first. So a walk there by Jacobson, and now a single by Braxton Holland. And it is 2 runners now on base here in the top of the third for the Pioneers.
And that's 2 for 2 on the day for Holland, and 2 opposite field hits right there. You don't really see that often, but to have a hitter that can really stretch the field. Obviously, you have Spanish Fork playing relatively straightforward, but you know, with the shift being so apparent in the major leagues and in other forms of baseball and college as well, you know, to have a guy that can hit opposite field, that's a invaluable player right there.
Yeah, to be able to have the discipline to hit it the other way is not easy, as it is McKay Wall at the bat for the Pioneers. He's got an 0-1 count here as they make a snap throw over there to second base. Randolph goes to apply the tag, just misses there. He'll be safe over there at second base, but a nice thought over there by Nielsen and Randolph. Good communication. Here comes that 0-1 pitch. This one is going to be just a bit low there. Evens up the count at 1-1 to Wall.
And he tried to go again for that breaking pitch, which has been so common in this ball game for him. Just a little bit low this time.
Again, Nielsen working with a 3-run lead here in the top of the third. Score is 4-1. A nice pitch there on the outside corner. Moves the count to 1-2 to McKay Wall. Wall struck out in his first at bat, and Nielsen's now got himself set up for maybe another one.
Yeah, potentially this could be his 5th here on the game. It's only been the 3rd inning. So he takes time here. He went right back to that pitch, by the way, went right back to the curveball, and he got it right where he wanted it. It's just been on the outside part, and hitters just don't know really what to do with it, these Pioneer hitters.
Here comes that 1-2. This one high in the sky. Popped up. Massey giving chase. And he got it. That is going to be a nice job out there in foul territory by Tyson Massey to get the out, and now that is 2 outs here in the top of the third.
Number 40, Braxton Merritt.
Brings up Braxton Merritt, the designated hitter for the Pioneers. Merritt sends that back to the backstop, fouls it off for strike 1.
Just a little bit behind on that fastball there. But when you have 2 pitches like that, Nielsen is throwing there, the curveball that kind of slows in and dives so sharply down, and the fastball that's so quick and biting, it's really tough if you're a hitter to try and catch up to that. 2 completely different speeds. You can tell it's really fooling these Pioneer hitters.
Yeah, he's moving the eye level using not only high pitches but also throwing stuff in the dirt. Has had decent command inside and outside. That one does get past Horain. And they're going to give thought but decide against advancing more. But that now puts 2 runners in scoring position here with 2 outs. And you've got Moraith there up for the Pioneers, the big designated hitter. So certainly not out of the woods here in the top of the first. A big hit here by Moraith really could cut into this lead pretty severely.
Yeah, talk about timely hits. They just need 1 here.
It's a 2-1 count here to Moraith. He's going to take that one on the outside corner. Beautiful paint job there by Nielsen. Evens up the count 2-2.
Of course, 2 outs here, so you don't want to go down looking.
And here comes that 2-2 pitch. It's going to be low and inside. Full count now to Moraith.
And of course, at the same time, you don't want to swing at anything that's out of the zone. Good eye there by Moraith to kind of look that one in.
Full count here with 2 outs, runners on second and third. And that one is going to be chopped over to the shortstop. Pintar not quite able to handle that one, and it will score a run. So an infield single there by Moraith is going to score a run for the Pioneers. It moves the score now to 4-2. So now only a 2-run advantage here for the Pioneers, and it now has runners on the corners as the 3rd inning is still going.
It hasn't been pretty so far for Lehi, but you'll take it. You're only down 2 at this point in the game, and that's really been a surprise. And Spanish Fork has honestly been the better team so far, but it's just been a matter of errors that have gotten Lehi these runs here. And sometimes, just one thing may end up costing you the ball game. If you're Spanish Fork, you got to just play fundamental baseball, play it safe. That was a tough hop there, to be honest, but try and make that play.
That was going to be outside for ball 1 to Hunter Herrera. Herrera went down on strikes in his first at bat in the 2nd inning. He has the early advantage here in this at bat at 1-0. Nielsen fires. This one is going to just barely miss. A nice 2-0 count here for Herrera. Morath over there at first base. Holland over at third. And another ball thrown there by Nielsen, and it's a early hole here. 3-0 count to Herrera.
Yeah, I think this is the first time Nielsen's really gotten behind like this. He isn't missing by much, but, you know, he's missing enough.
As he's able to work one across the plate for strike one, moves the count to 3-1. Dangerous situation here for the Dons with Nielsen still on the mound here in the third, but runners on the corners and 2 outs. That one's going to be sent right back to him. He'll send it on over to Massey, and that is going to end the top of the first, but another run scored by the Pioneers moves the score now to 4-2. Just a 2-run lead here for the Dons as we swing it on over to the bottom of the third inning. Gives us an opportunity to thank our wonderful sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17 who make these broadcasts possible. That is the Blue Diamond Auto Group, Mikkel Thompson Wise, attorneys at law, Triple T, heating, cooling, and plumbing, State Farm Lance Wilson, the Driggs Mortgage Team, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza. Cy Nielsen able to work himself out of the jam there in the top of the third. Really kind of his first real struggles there on the mound, but really it's really more so just been the Dons have kind of been their own worst enemy when it's come to how the Pioneers have scored so far.
Yeah, and it's just been a matter of errors, you know. Fielding-wise, it's been a pass ball to first. It's been a play that they haven't made at second on a short hop. And, you know, it doesn't matter if you're Lehi, how you get them. You just want to get runs. You just got to try and fight your way back into this ball game. You know, sometimes it isn't pretty, but you'll take them any way they come, honestly.
Again, 4-2 here in the bottom of the third, a 2-run lead thus far for the Dons as Noah Conway lays down a bunt, tries to get himself on, and he is going to do so. Nope, they're gonna call him out. Really? They are gonna say that he got in the way of the ball, and so he is gonna be out over there at first base.
Well, it looked like for a second there, you know, it was Gentry Cox over there at first who had it, and the umps are gonna come and convene because they want to discuss this, and of course. Looks like the Spanish Fork coaches are up, and a couple of them are standing there, and he is out. He did look like he kind of ran right into his arm there and kind of caused the ball to fall out. Of course, that's interference. It's a no-no in baseball. You can't do that. It makes me think of Alex Rodriguez, of course, back in the days. Of course, you're a Red Sox fan yourself. You know the deal.
Oh, absolutely. Slapping the glove, trying to get himself safe. So certainly not what Conway did there. But
nothing intentional, but
nothing intentional there. Unlike Mr. A-Rod. Again, up to bat now is Tanner Peterson for the Dons as he's going to take that one inside for ball one. Peterson flew out to center field in his first at bat. Coming up after him will be Morley Bennett and Cade Randolph. So that one is going to be worked in there for strike one, evens up the count at 1-1. Four-two here in the bottom of the third. 1-1 count to Peterson. That one is going to be popped up. And Jacobson is going to make the play there from the pitcher position, works off the mound and catches that pop up there. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the third.
Now batting number 17.
Up now is Morley Bennett for the Dons. He struck out looking in his first at bat. See if he's got something better coming up here for him in his second at bat as he takes a big, healthy cut there for strike one. Here comes that 0-1 pitch to Bennett. This one is going to be inside for ball one. Moves the count now to 1-1 to the center fielder for the Dons.
You know, Bennett wearing the number 17 today. Normally, according to Max Preps, that belongs to Pepper. It's kind of interesting to see the number change here from him. As far as his play goes, in that sense, he hasn't really had a whole lot of at-bats, but so far has done a pretty good job. Though when he's been out, it's usually been by way of strikeout. All of his outs, in fact, that have been recorded have been strikeouts. That one looked to have hit him. It passes by, and that will bring the count to 3-1 there.
Yeah, another Pintar situation where it looks like it may have hit him, but he does dance his way out of the way there. But he does have himself in a nice hitter's count. 3-1 here again. We are in the bottom of the third, 2 outs. And he's going to give himself a walk. A nice high and tight pitch there. Waits on it and gets himself over to first base. So Bennett aboard here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Brings up Cade Randolph for the Dons. Second baseman batting 8th in their lineup. Grounded out to third in his first at bat. We'll see what he's able to do here in the bottom of the third in his second at bat with Bennett over there at first base. Bennett with some speed, as that one is fouled away there for strike one. Bennett certainly has the speed to be able to get himself over to second base on pretty much anything. So we'll see how aggressive they are here on the base pass with him.
Yeah, pretty speedy center fielder out there. Up over on first. Spanish Fork has really been emphasizing all game. They've really been trying to just move the runners ahead, try and play some small ball throughout.
Nice pitch there by Jacobson. Puts Randolph in an early hole here at 0-2. Again, Jacobson has had his share of struggles in this one, but seems to have settled down a little bit from the 3-run first inning that he had. Here comes that 0-2 pitch. That one worked very nicely on the outside corner, but Randolph does a good job of spoiling it, keeps himself alive here in this at-bat, 0-2.
He's fighting here. Look for Bennett to run over here at first. Like you said earlier, he's got speed. He's got 2 stolen bases so far this year. And with 2 strikes, obviously, anything goes.
And they're going to snap throw it over there to first base. Nothing doing as Bennett slides back in.
You know, as we say that, he just tries to keep him honest.
The 0-2, that one very outside. Almost gets past the catcher there. Nice job to jump up and snag that one in the air. Count as 1-2. Up after Randolph would be Skylar Horain. And here comes that 1-2 pitch by Jacobson. That was going to be just outside for ball 2. Evens up the count here at 2-2 to Randolph. Score is 4-2. Big Region 10 matchup here between the Pioneers and the Dons. And Randolph takes a big swing and miss at that one, and that is going to end the third inning. So Jacobson able to put up a goose egg there in the third. The Dons still have the lead 4-2 as we're heading over to the fourth inning, and we will get you more when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. Got me good.
But you know, State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing!
Go with the one that's here to help life go right.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage Team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17 in this fourth inning of this key Region 10 matchup between the Lehi Pioneers and the Spanish Fork Dons, both teams at the top of the region. And this one the second of a big series here at the end of the season for both teams. Again, the Dons will finish off the season against Salem Hills, who is third in the region, and so really some games to really test the mettle of this Dons team, as Nielsen is once again back on the mound, and he misfires on that first pitch to Dylan Coe. Count is 1-0.
And a hot Salem Hills team to add, 7-win streak right now. Not going to be an easy series with them.
Absolutely not. We got to see a piece of that Salem Hills team as that one is sliced into right field. Beautiful piece of hitting by Coe as he gets himself a leadoff single here in the top of the fourth.
One hit kind of quickly over there. It looked like Taylor out there, and I should say Conway over in right, went to run in and try and snap that one over to first. Try and get him maybe potentially, but you know, a single, it's a little too late there once it goes in the outfield.
So leadoff single there by Coe gets things going here in the top of the fourth. That is Tyson Eager up now for the Pioneers, and he will take that for ball one. 1-0 count here to Eager. As I was saying, we got to see that Salem Hills team play against against Maple Mountain here just barely, and man, they looked absolutely impressive as that is fouled away there by Eager and moves the count to 1-1.
Pretty much dominated the game from start to finish, and their pitching was phenomenal there. Have to go back in my notes here. I gotta remember who it was. It was, I believe it was Kecht, right? Easton Kecht. That,
yes, it was.
Pitched that game pretty much the whole game, win a complete game. It's phenomenal, honestly. Just dominated that Maple Mountain lineup throughout. And of course, you can see them on Spanish Fork 17 here on the 6th as they come to play Spanish Fork in that series. It'll be an excellent two-game set between these two teams.
Yeah, we'll be getting you that broadcast on Monday, so definitely tune in for that one, because that is going to be an exciting game and a key game here in Region 10 as standings are being made up here, and they are going to get the strikeout. Another punch out there by Nielsen. Eager strikeout of the game for Cy Nielsen, who continues to pitch pretty well here thus far in this game.
Done a pretty good job.
That one's going to be high and tight for ball one to Quinn Taylor.
Really, the only mistake that he has made, he really hasn't made a mistake, but if you can really point to anything, it's just been that maybe he's lost a little bit of command, and that's come when Lehi has gotten on base early. Of course, last inning they were able to get on. Now this inning they got a runner on first. I think the traffic, of course, with any pitcher kind of rattles them a little bit.
That one's going to be popped up and out of play. Moves the count to 1-2 on Taylor.
Of course, other than that, he's been lights out. Command has been great. Strikeouts of plenty.
And that one is going to be sent over towards the left field line, but once again foul. Giving chase on that one was Newman. As Taylor keeps himself alive here, the count is 1-2. With one out here in the top of the fourth, the score is 4-2. The Dons still with a 2-run lead over the Pioneers. Nice job there by Horain to keep that one in the dirt. Does even up the count to 2-2. Dylan Coe led things off here for the Pioneers with a leadoff single. They would love nothing more than to get him over in scoring position, and that will not happen in this particular bat as Quinn Taylor goes down on strikes, looking at a beautiful pitch on the outside corner by Nielsen, his 6th strikeout of the game, and he is, after that leadoff single, is just mowing right through this Pioneer lineup.
I would say he's found his groove again. I don't know if he ever lost it, but there's 2 strikeouts, and that's a fly ball.
Gentry clocks, bloops that one into right field, and it is going to be, they're going to say that is not caught out there by Conway, but still a very impressive job to get over there, smother it, and so it'll be a bloop single there by Cox, and it will move Dylan Coe over to third base. So runners on the corners with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th, and it brings up the top of the lineup for the Pioneers as Hayden Jacobson is once again up for them.
That was a great effort by Conway, like you said. Just missed it. He just was a step too slow there getting that one. We'll see, though, if Jacobson can get it done on the offensive end for this team.
It was going to be in the dirt for ball 1 to Jacobson. Jacobson struck out in his first at-bat and was one of the runs in the 3rd inning. He walked and was able to score on a pass ball. That one's going to be worked in there for strike 1, evens up the count, 1-1. My apologies, it wasn't on a pass ball. He scored on an RBI single by Braxton Morath. Here comes that 1-1 pitch. Spoils this one back to the backstop. Count is now 1-2 to the pitcher for the Pioneers, hoping to help himself out here with 2 outs, try to start a rally here and get another run on the board and cut into this deficit. They're going to call time to get things all sorted out.
I don't think Nielsen likes times, honestly.
Oh, he doesn't. He hates them. He would just rather just keep pitching, and that's usually what he does. As that is foul tipped into the glove of Horine, and that is going to be 3 strikeouts in this inning for Cy Nielsen, who just makes good work in the 4th. That is his 7th strikeout of the game as we move on over to the bottom half of the 4th here with the score 4-2. 2-run lead here for the Dons. Gives us some time to thank our wonderful sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17.
Yeah, once again, this broadcast of Spanish Fork 17 Baseball is brought to you by Blue Diamond Auto Group, the attorneys at law of McKell, Thompson & Wise, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, the State Farm offices of Lance Wilson, the Driggs Mortgage Team, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza.
As we're heading over here to the bottom of the 4th, the score is, as I said, 4-2. So a 2-run lead here for the Dons over the Pioneers, and another opportunity for the Dons to put up some more runs. It'll be Horine coming up for the Dons, the number 9 hitter. Following him will be Tay Newman and Andrew Pintar. Obviously looking to extend this lead, and weirdly, actually, like Jacobson has really settled down and kind of stopped this Dons lineup from scoring since the 1st.
Yeah, it's been kind of interesting to watch him. You know, he still has the occasional wild pitch, but overall he's done a pretty good job of limiting the contact, and he's kind of gotten ahead, and it's kind of helped him out. Nothing really hard from the Spanish Fork lineup over the last couple of innings. Nothing dangerous as far as contact goes. He's been able to keep the contact light, and that's kind of helped him out.
As that is going to be ripped down the first baseline, but just foul. Would have been a beautiful, beautiful potential extra base hit there for Horine. Unfortunately, it squeaks over into foul territory. It'll even up the count at 1-1. Again, Jacobson on the mound for the Pioneers. And this one is going to be ripped over to first base, but a nice play by Gentry. That's Gentry Cox over there at first base. So a line out over there to first will be the first out of the inning, but it does bring up the top of the order for the Dons as Tay Newman is once again up.
So looking back at the last 6 batters, I should say, 5 of the 6 have been retired, the only other one being a walk. So you can say that Lehi has really gotten into their groove, it feels like. As I say that, another pass ball there from Jacobson.
Luckily for him, no one on base for that one, so no runners will be advancing, but it is a ball still, so a 1-0 count here to Tay Newman. Newman walked in the first and laid down a sacrifice bunt in the second as he will take that one low and in the dirt, so it'll move the count now to a good hitter's count here at 2-0.
It really has just been that low and inside pitch it's just been the indicator that he's kind of off when he throws it wild.
Ooh, that's a nice curveball that's snapped in there. That one actually catches a bit of that inside part of the plate. It moves the count to 2-1. Yeah, as you were saying, Jake, like it's when Jacobson has been commanding the outside corner against righties that it seems like he's really been locked in. That one is going to hit Newman, second hit batsman of the game there by Jacobson. So he will mosey his way on over to first base.
Yeah, that inside pitch has just been killing him all game. I don't think he's really intentionally trying to throw it there. It's just whether it's overthrowing or it's his mechanics, it's just been tough for him so far this game. And when he's been able to control that outside corner, like you said, things have gone well for Lehi, and really most of the damage came as a result of the errant pitching in the first inning.
Pintar up for the Dons. That is going to dribble towards the third baseman. They will get the out over at second, but Pintar will get himself to first base. So a fielder's choice there as they get Newman out over at second. So that'll be 2 outs in the inning. Pintar over there at first base, but it brings up the big bat, Cy Nielsen.
Batting number 11, Cy Nielsen.
Cy Nielsen with a triple T triple in the first inning, scored 2 runs, a State Farm great RBI that really got the offense rolling. But kind of since then, since the first things have really quieted down for the Dons, Cy Nielsen was the other batter that's been hit by a pitch in this game. That happened in the second. So far a 1-for-1 game for Nielsen as he takes that for strike 1.
All of a sudden the wind kind of picking up here at Nelson Field. Kind of breezy out there, you can tell a little bit. Still nice out though. It's been an awesome day for baseball.
That one's going to be in the dirt there for ball 1, evens up the count to 1-1. Oh yeah, Jake, it's been an absolutely beautiful day, and honestly the wind hasn't been too crazy, but there's been a few gusts every now and then. But man, just the sun is shining. The mountains are beautiful. You've still got a little bit of snow on the mountains. Like it's just picturesque out here right now in Utah. There's a snap throw over there to first base. Nothing doing. Pintar still going over there at first base. Dangerous runner, Pintar. I think he's got 8 stolen bases on the season. The lead base snagger for the Dons this season.
Just one of those few key cogs in the Dons lineup.
As Nielsen rips that one through the gap between the shortstop and the third baseman, he will get himself a single, and Pintar will move himself over to third base. Nice piece of base running there for Pintar. So runners on the corners here with 2 outs in the inning. So a potential 2-out rally could be brewing here for the Dons with Tyson Massey coming up.
Now batting number 22, Tyson.
Feels like it has been a couple of innings since the Dons have seen anybody in scoring position. So a welcoming sign. And of course, when you're hitting the heart of the lineup, doesn't hurt as well. You get Massey up here to hit. And of course, Massey so far this year hitting, about 7 RBIs in, has an on-base percentage of .353. So we'll see what he can do here with 1 out.
He is going to take that one. It's going to roll in the dirt. It's going to be a 1-0 count now to Massey. Again, Nielsen having a great game at the plate as well as on the mound. He's now 2 for 2 on the game with 2 RBIs, including that triple T triple that he had in the first. And again, he's got 7 strikeouts on the mound through 4 innings as well. So certainly doing his part both at the plate and on the mound. That's going to be fouled away there by Massey.
I think you could say he's shaping up to be our early runner for MVP Sports Player of the Game.
Oh, absolutely. He definitely right in the line there for the MVP Sports MVP of the game. Certainly contributing on both sides of things, and so why not? That's probably who I will be going with if things hold up here. Here comes that pitch to Massey. That's going to be taken outside. Moves the count to 2-1 to the big cleanup hitter in the Dons lineup. Pintar over there at third base, Nielsen at first. So runners on the corners here with 2 outs. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Jacobson still on the mound for the Pioneers as he's able to get that pitch by Massey, so it evens up the count to 2-2.
It was a great location for that fastball right on the outside corner. Once again, painting the outside part has been really his strong suit so far this game. when he's been able to command that part of the plate, hitters have been struggling to make contact.
2-2 pitch with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. That one going to be outside. Puts the count at full now to Tyson Massey. A base hit here would at least score Pintar over there at third. Extend the lead back to 3 runs here for the Dons in this key Region 10 matchup. Here comes that full count pitch, and he is going to be frozen up by Jacobson. A huge strikeout for the Pioneers as it ends this 4th inning. He gets into some trouble but is able to weave his way out of it as we head to the 5th. The score is still 4-2 Spanish Fork over Lehi. We will get you more of today's action when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Thompson & Wise.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17 in the 5th inning of this big Region 10 matchup between the Lehi Pioneers and the Spanish Fork Dons, as you get a nice view of the ballpark here. A little bit of cloud coverage here on this beautiful sunny day. Cy Nielsen back on the mound as that thing is ripped over toward third base, but Newman makes a nice play, sends it over to Massey. Quick 1 pitch, 1 out there for Cy Nielsen to start off the 5th.
Another one for him, and I think last inning he was able to do that, either last inning or the inning before that. That's kind of been where Nielsen's really come through. First pitch outs, strikeouts as well.
Holland sends a rocket over there to third base. It's the first out of the inning. That one is going to be taken for a ball here by McKay Wall. The third baseman for the Lehi Pioneers is 0 for 2 on the game as he spoils that one away. Evens up the count at 1-1. McKay Wall struck out in the first and fouled out to the first baseman in his last at bat, so 0-2 on the game. Holds up on that one. Count is now going to be 2-1 here to Wall. Rips it over to Pintar. Pintar gathers it up, sends it over to first. And that is going to be out number 2 here in the top of the 5th. A nice little routine grounder there to Pintar, and he makes quick work of it.
Already, 3 pitches and a couple of grounders and light contact, which is always a plus for the Spanish Fork Dons, of course.
Nielsen just cruising right along here in the 5th as he now sets up against Marath. Marath will take that in the dirt for ball 1. Marath had a single in his last at bat there in the 3rd. One of the few batters that has actually seemingly seen Nielsen pretty well as he's going to take that for strike 1 on the outside corner.
Yeah, I was able to get that single and kind of get Lehi going a little bit.
That one's going to be fouled back to the backstop. A 1-2 count now here to Marath. So 2 outs here, 2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th for Cy Nielsen. That one's going to be outside there to Marath, evens up the count at 2-2. Up next for the Pioneers would be Hunter Herrera if Marath is able to get on, which he will not. Instead, he goes down on strikes, looks at a beautiful pitch on the inside corner there by Cy Nielsen, who moves up his K counter to 8 in this one. 8 strikeouts through 5 innings for the Dons ace. As we move over to the bottom half of the 5th inning, it gives us an opportunity to thank our wonderful sponsors for all that they do for us here on our Spanish Fork broadcast. That is the Blue Diamond Auto Group, Mikkel Thompson and Wise Attorneys at Law, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, State Farm Lance Wilson, the Driggs Mortgage Team, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza.
Looks like Hayden Jacobson is going to be up to pitch the top of, or bottom half of the 5th, I should say. Kind of been a surprise, I think, considering that first inning. He was extremely shaky, a couple of mound visits as well. We didn't know if he was going to even get out of the inning, but he seemed to have found his groove more or less and has held the Dons in check. Besides the pass ball play that occurred in the second inning, he's been relatively great. 0 earned runs pretty much.
Yeah, he really has been. Again, as you said, Jake, like I kind of expected him to be an early yank in this one. Instead, he's gotten himself 4 solid innings and is now working here in the bottom of the 5th against this Dons lineup, and that is going to be strike 1 there to Noah Conway. After that 3-run first inning, it really just that 1 run in the second inning on the pass ball, so really has done a good job of silencing this Dons lineup since those early struggles. He's going to work that one just a bit outside, so the count evens up now here at 1-1 for Conway.
And of course, you got 2 more innings left of baseball to be played, but you kind of think if you're Lehi, you look back to that second inning run and you kind of wonder what you could have done here. As that one looks like it's going to go off of the third baseman there. That's Wall, and it's going to be a single.
And nice rip there by Conway to get things started here for the Dons. In the bottom of the 1st, able to just sneak it past the glove of Wall, as well as Holland, who also tried to make a play there over at the shortstop position, but sneaks past. And so a leadoff single here for Noah Conway in the 5th, and it will bring up Tanner Peterson for the Dons.
You know, I can sympathize with Wall, having played third base before. It's a hot corner, and they call it that for a reason.
Yes,
when those balls come in, they come in flying hot. You got to be ready, and sometimes you might have to take a couple off the body, maybe try and absorb them. It's a hard position to play. It's definitely not easy.
Yeah, the reaction time is pretty nuts over there at third base, and you've got the longest throw across the diamond as well, and so it's just not an easy life for third baseman. So if you're a good defensive third baseman, you're probably doing all right.
Nothing comes earned over there at that position, that's for sure. You kind of look at some of the greats in Major League Baseball. You think of Manny Machado, think of Nolan Arenado, of course. A couple of just outstanding fielders who make it look easy over there. They just make things look routine.
Of course, our director Pete just whispered to us, Padres, huge Padres fan, so he loves Manny Machado, and he's a big part of that third base group. As that's a play over there at second base, not able to quite glove it though, and so that will go down as an infield single there for Tanner Peterson, and it will move Noah Conway over to second base. So 2 early runners here in the bottom of the 5th for the Dons.
Yeah, 2 tough plays there. That was a chopped ball. That one just high in the infield. And Eager trying to run up on that one to make it off the short hop, just not able to field it cleanly. So a couple of plays there that are tough, but if the infield makes them, you're looking at 2 outs potentially. Now you have runners on first and second.
A little poke there by Morley Bennett to try to sacrifice the runners into scoring position, but misses on that one, so it'll be strike 1 there to Bennett. Bennett struck out in his first at bat, took a walk in the 3rd inning. His 3rd plate appearance here of the night. Comes with runners on first and second in a really key situation here for the Dons, with an opportunity to extend this lead and give Cy Nielsen a little bit more breathing room potentially as he heads back to the mound. Most likely head back to the mound in the top of the 6th. Again, it's Morley Bennett up at the plate for the Dons. He will once again square for the bunt. This time lays it down, and Peterson has only 1 play to make, and it's over at first base. He will do so, gets the out, but a well-executed sacrifice bunt there by Morley Bennett.
One of many for the Spanish Fork Dons today. They've really just loved putting down those bunts, and they've obviously practiced them. They've executed them relatively well. And when you're able to advance runners like that, play strategic and play smart, you're looking at a chance here to score, of course, for them. Things are looking good for Spanish Fork.
Yeah, again, the Dons are a very explosive lineup, but with how things went yesterday in the extra inning loss against Lehi, you can't blame Coach Nelson for playing a little bit of small ball and making sure to just get themselves in a place where they can manufacture runs, and that's exactly what Bennett did with that beautiful bunt. Brings up Cade Randolph for the Dons, who has grounded out to the third baseman and struck out in his 2 plate appearances so far. We'll see what Randolph is able to do here now with runners at second and third. Takes a big cut at that one, but misses for strike 1.
I think this is a big inning for the Spanish Fork Dons. You know, they haven't scored in a few innings. Of course, they're sitting at a 2-run lead here, but the more insurance you can get, the better things are.
He's going to take that one outside for ball 1. Evens up the count at 1-1 to Randolph. Again, the score is 4-2 here. Really not a lot of scoring since the beginning part of this one. 3 runs early in the first for Spanish Fork, and then it's just been a little trickle of runs in the second and third innings by both teams, as that one is ripped over towards the Spanish Fork dugout. And it's going to move the count now to 1-2 for Randolph.
It's a big inning here for Jacobson again. Another big out here. If you can get this strikeout, you put it at 2 outs, and basically you take a lot of pressure off of the infield and the defenders back there to make a play.
Randolph is going to call time to get himself set up for this RBI. Big potential RBI opportunity here for the number 8 hitter. He will take that one just outside. Thought that one may have actually caught a little bit of paint, but Randolph gets the call there, and it moves the count to 2-2.
Jacobson was mad there. He took a second to kind of walk around the circle, kind of just swung his glove. He thought that was a strike.
I mean, I thought it was a strike up here in the booth, so don't blame him, as that is crushed out into the outfield there by Randolph. It is going to score 1 run, so that is going to be Conway that scores from third.
And he got the out at third as well, though.
Merciful heavens.
Good play there from right field. That was Taylor out there on the throw, I believe. Gets that one into Minor, and Minor just snapped that one over the third and gets the runner out. So a good heads-up play there by Minor, and now you have 2 out, and that kind of takes the threat out for Spanish Fork to getting extra runs here.
Yeah, it really does. That takes the wind out of the sails. Instead of runners at the corners with 1 out, instead you're looking at just a runner over there at first base with 2 outs. Skylar Horain coming up for the Dons. It is still an RBI single for Cade Randolph, and so it does extend this Dons lead now to 5-2, so 3-run lead once again for the Dons, but unfortunately for the Dons, they do get thrown out there at third base. Peterson kind of caught napping over there, gets gunned down, and so 2 outs here. Skylar Horain up, number 9 hitter for the Dons. He's going to send that past the first baseman. He's going to get himself a single, and it is going to send Cade Randolph over to third base. So nice piece of hitting there by Horain. Sends it the other way, is able to get Randolph from first to third on that one, and it turns the lineup over, and so Tay Newman will get a hack here in the 5th with a runner in scoring position.
Newman running speed up. Number 1, Corbin Harrison.
Corbin Harrison coming in for speed up to run for Horain, as he needs to get ready for the top half of the 6th. Don't need your catcher out there running necessarily.
Not exactly, and that's the good part of high school baseball, is you can throw runners in, you know, pretty much interchangeably if you need them.
So again, Newman up in a very dangerous situation here for the Dons. The score 5-2, runners on the corners with 2 outs. We'll see what the leadoff hitter for the Dons can do here, as he's going to take that one for strike 1.
Yeah, and of course on the scoreboard it does say 6-2, but it is 5-2. It's just the 1 run that scored for Spanish Fork there.
And there are also 2 outs, not 1 out. Here's that 0-1 pitch here to Newman. Newman is going to pop that one up. It's going to be actually up and over our booth here, out in the foul territory behind the plate. Moves the count now to 0-2 to Tay Newman. Peterson my apologies, Jacobson. Jacobson 1 strike away from getting out of this little jam here, only giving up 1 run. And that's going to be a big cut and a big miss by Newman as he throws his bat in disgust, as he knows he shouldn't have swung at that one. So the Dons do get 1 run here in the bottom of the 5th, but Jacobson does a nice job to limit the damage. The score is 5-2 as we head over to the 6th inning, and we'll get you that when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you too.
You ain't nothing!
Go with the one that's here to help life go right.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage Team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
A tense playoff atmosphere here on Spanish Fork 17 as we've got the top contenders in Region 10 here at the ballpark today in Spanish Fork. It's the Lehi Pioneers against our Spanish Fork Dons. The score is 5-2 as the Dons were able to put up a run there in the bottom of the 5th as that is fouled away by Hunter Herrera. So an 0-1 count to the number 5 hitter in the Pioneers lineup. That one's going to be taken inside. Evens up the count here to 1-1. Timeout called there. Again, it is Cy Nielsen once again working the mound, coming in for the 6th inning here for the Dons. Through 5, he struck out 8 and has only given up the 2 runs, both of those being unearned, as the count now moves to 2-1 after that outside pitch.
Herrera a victim to one of those strikeouts in the 1st inning.
That one's going to miss just barely low and inside. Nice hitters count here for Herrera, 3-1. Grounded out to Nielsen in his last at-bat in the 3rd inning. Here comes that 3-1 pitch, and he will watch that one paint the outside corner. A beautiful pitch there by Nielsen to get himself back in this at-bat. The count is now full to Herrera. Working fast is Nielsen, and that one's going to be sent straight up the middle. Randolph is able to gobble it up, but unable to make a throw over there at first base. So a leadoff infield single for Hunter Herrera to start things off here in the 6th inning for the Pioneers.
Yeah, another big hit there to start for Lehi again in the with the first at bat. They just need to be able to convert these runs here. You're down 3. You only have so many chances now. You're in the 6th inning. If you're going to try and steal this one, you're going to need to probably come up with at least a run or 2 here to close the gap.
And not a bad person to have up in this situation is Dylan Coe, who's 2 for 2 on the day for the Pioneers. A single in the 2nd, a single in the 4th. He scored in the 2nd inning, so one of the 2 Pioneers runs so far. So certainly a guy that you want up in this situation. He's going to take that one inside for ball 1. Coe was the beneficiary of a couple of errors in that 2nd inning that made it so he was able to score. A throwing error advanced him over to 2nd, and a throwing error was what was able to get him home as well. Here comes that 1-0 pitch from Nielsen. Beautiful pitch on the outside corner. Coe just not able to do anything with it, so it evens up the count at 1-1.
Looks like Nielsen going to take a second here, take some time.
A little bit of a different approach for him, as he's usually just motoring right along. This time a little more methodical in this at-bat. Oh, beautiful off-speed pitch. Gets Coe swinging on that one. The count now moves to 1-2.
Yeah, Nielsen really just has been masterful with that curveball all game long. That off-speed pitch has just been fooling these hitters throughout. He's kind of eyeing first base here. The last couple of pitches, he's taken an extra second as he kind of steps off to reset. Of course, Lehi down 3 here. So if you're Spanish Fork, you're trying to limit base runners getting into scoring position.
Yeah, he's actually going to step off again. He is really concerned with Herrera over there at first base, who does have some good wheels. He plays center field for the Pioneers, and so you expect that he's got some wheels over there. As that one's going to be blooped into right field. Conway gives chase, but it is going to drop. They are going to snap it over towards third to make sure that Herrera does not advance, but a nice little bloop single there by Dylan Coe, who is 3 for 3 on the night.
Good hit again, going opposite field there on the blooper. But Conway was kind of playing already pretty shallow over there in right field, but once again, just enough contact to get it out of the infield, drops right in front of him. Herrera over there was thinking 3. He was making a wide turn, but smartly stops and runs back to second. Now first and second with nobody out for the Pioneers.
Yeah, 2 quick hits here in the top of the 6th for the Pioneers. Nielsen's going to once again stop the flow of things and try to keep this running game of the Pioneers in check.
Obviously you have the tying run at the plate, and Nielsen's been great all game, and really you just got to step in and do what you've been doing all game.
It's Tyson Eager up for the Pioneers. He's going to foul that one away, trying to bunt his guys over into scoring position. Will not do it on that one, as the count is 0-1 here to Eager. It's Hunter Herrera over there at second base, Dylan Coe at first. 2 straight singles for the Pioneers to get things going here in the top of the 6th. Really hoping to cut into this 5-2 lead by the Dons. Oh, nice job by Pintar, and it is going to be called safe. It looked like Pintar had the tag applied, but it looks like they are going to call him safe. That was a great move there by Nielsen, and also a good job by Pintar to lay that tag
these
down.
Dons fans, they were not happy about that. They thought he was out, and I don't blame them. That was a bang-bang play, and that's not the first time that's happened this game.
Coe squares up to bunt. This one is going to be taken for a ball. Evens up the count at 1-1. Yeah, heard some stomping, some hooping and hollering from the fans here, because yeah, that was really close. And in my eyes, I kind of thought that they got him. Instead, they called him safe, but still a nice job of at least hopefully keeping Herrera honest. Here comes that 1-1 pitch. This time Coe gets a piece of it, but it is going to be fouled back behind the catcher, so it moves the count to 1-2.
Yeah, of course, earlier in the game, it was a grounder over to first to kind of pass the first baseman, Massey, and went into the backstop area. And then as the runner went to second, it was kind of a bang-bang play there. Anyways, if you're Eager here, going back to this at-bat, just want to try and get this thing into the outfield, try and make a play.
He's going to wave it, and it is going to drop just foul, as that would have been a big hit for the Pioneers.
That was the hit. If you're Lehi, you had that hit there. It's just a matter of feet there, maybe inches even. It was in the perfect spot, too. They've been great at doing this, at getting opposite field contact over there into that right field area. If you're Eager, you just got to shake it off, try and fight another pitch.
Yeah, they haven't exactly been able to turn on anything by Nielsen, but they've done a great job of going the other way and getting balls out into right field, as that one is taken tight, and it'll even the count at 2-2 here to Tyson Eager. Runners on first and second, no outs in the top of the 6th. 2 quick singles here to start off the inning for the Pioneers. That one is going to be lifted out into the outfield. A nice play made out there in right field, left field, my apologies. Directions can be a little wonky, as that's a nice play out there. It'll be the first out of the inning here in the 6th.
Finally, we're able to pull something, just got under it, drifted it over to the left fielder, Peterson, who just was standing in that area anyways, just goes under it and makes the routine play over there and left.
So 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The score is 5-2. Lehi hoping to cut into this lead as that is rocketed up the middle, and Pintar gets the very fortuitous play over there at short, catches it, steps on second, and gets the inning-ending double play there for the Dons. So big break for them as we head over here to the bottom of the 6th. In this one, the score is 5-2. The Dons still up, and it gives us some time to be able to thank our fantastic sponsors.
Once again, the Spanish Fork Channel 17 broadcast has been presented to you by Blue Diamond Auto Group, the attorneys at law Mikkel Thompson and Wise, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, State Farm and the offices of Lance Wilson, the Driggs Mortgage Team, MVP Sports, and 2 Jacks Pizza.
Yeah, huge play right there to end the 6th inning. Pintar able to catch the line drive and then step on second base. 2 big outs for Cy Nielsen as he's able to escape a little bit of danger there in the 6th.
Yeah, exactly. If Spanish Fork, and of course, as you see on the graphic, you can catch the broadcast of the next ball game here on Monday between Spanish Fork and Salem Hills. Another critical ball game for the Dons, which you can catch on Spanish Fork 17. And of course, you can catch that online as well if you go to youtube.com/SpanishFork17 or sfcn.org. And of course, like you were saying, it was a huge out, double play there. You could tell the Pioneers is really dejected. I believe it was either, I think it was Cox who was sitting in the on-deck circle, just threw his bat on the ground. You could tell he was, frustrated. The opportunity was there for the Pioneers. And with no outs and runners on first and second to leave it with a 0 on the board, it's just a lost opportunity there. And they're kind of down to their last inning here. Of course, they do have to try and keep Spanish Fork from scoring in this bottom half as well.
Absolutely, and that's no easy cause with Pintar, who rips that one out into left field, but it will be a foul ball. Definitely got able to turn on that one real nice, but yeah, just rips that one just a bit foul. So that'll move the count to 0-2 on the big shortstop for the Dons. And it'll be Pintar, Nielsen, and Massey up here in the 6th for the Dons. So the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. And that one is going to be sent out into the sky there. Able to camp under it, though, is the center fielder. Makes a nice play. That's Hunter Herrera out there for the Pioneers. So first out of the inning, a fly out to center by Pintar. It'll bring up the red-hot Cy Nielsen, who is 2 for 2 in this game. Hit a triple T triple, a 2 RBI hit there in the first inning. Was hit by a pitch in the second, and then hit a single in his last at-bat in the 4th. As he's going to foul that one well out of the way there for strike 1.
Yeah, Cy Nielsen's really lived up to his billing today, I would say, on both ends, on the offensive end and on, the pitching end as well. He's just been lights out. He's able to get out of that jam last inning, and of course, providing those 2 runs in the first.
That one's going to be taken for a ball. Yeah, Nielsen really has been impressive on the mound and at the plate. 6 innings pitched thus far. You got to think that he may come out for the 7th as well to try to finish off these Pioneers. So that one is going to be fouled away. Moves the count now to 1-2 on Nielsen.
Of course, Jacobson as well has been great, I think, since pretty much inning 2. He's really settled in and has done a good job, and the fact that he's out here for the 6th inning, I think, is remarkable given that shaky start.
Oh, it absolutely is. Like, to give up 3 runs in the first and still be here pitching strong here into the 6th inning is very impressive, as that thing is going to be blooped into shallow center field. Trying to make a play on it is Herrera. He will not be able to do so, and that is going to be a 2 Jacks double for Cy Nielsen, as he's got himself a single, a double, and a triple in this one. 3 for 3, so definitely doing his job at the plate to get himself all situated for a big win here in this Region 10 matchup.
And it's not entirely impossible that he could go for the cycle. Now, that would take a lot of batters going through the lineup, of course, and us potentially getting to that bottom half of the 7th. But he has hit home runs, as we said. He's had 2 this year. But once again, Cy Nelson has just been amazing today, and a tip of the cap to him for what he's done today for Spanish Fork, and it's going to be potentially a big rebound win after losing that tough game the night before in Lehi.
Yeah, losing in extra innings last night, you can tell, has kind of irked the Dons as they've been playing some small ball, just trying to manufacture runs. But thankfully for them, they've had the big bat of Cy Nielsen, who's provided 2 RBIs in this one, has a single and a double, 3 for 3 now. He is now in scoring position here for Tyson Massey, who's going to take that one outside for ball 1.
Of course, if they do get this win, that puts them pretty much in prime position to take the Region 10 division title, and of course with that home field advantage, which is ever so crucial for this team.
As that is a beautiful curveball snapped perfectly on the outside corner for strike 1, evens up the count here at 1-1 for Tyson Massey. Again, being able to play here at the Swenson Complex is just huge for the Dons, as they have such a home field advantage, as that is a big cut and is going to be fouled away there by Massey. Moves the count to 1-2.
Just such a historic ballpark, and you know, with all these great fans and like we said, with such a great program, you know, it really is a tough place to play at. And there's a reason why the Dons are 10-1 this year at home. It's just one of those fields that they just perform so well at. The question will be, though, for the Dons, if they do have to play on the road, as that's a strikeout there by Jacobson, another K for him. So I believe that is 4 now on the game for him.
Yeah, I've got 4 strikeouts for Jacobson, who, as you've been saying, really has settled in since really that second inning. Has been pitch for pitch right there with Cy Nielsen. So it's 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The score is 5-2, but the Dons do have Cy Nielsen over there at second base in scoring position, and up for the Dons is Noah Conway, who does have a single in this game and did score in the 5th inning, and so certainly someone that can kind of keep this thing going and maybe give yourself an extra insurance run here in the 6th. That one is going to be ripped out into right center. Making a nice play out there for the Pioneers is Quinn Taylor, and that is going to end the 6th inning. As we head on over to the top half of the 7th, we will get you that when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Thompson & Wise.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. It is the top of the 7th here in this big Region 10 matchup. It is the Lehi Pioneers up against the Spanish Fork Dons. Warming up for the Dons is not Cy Nielsen, who has pitched 6 fantastic innings of ball thus far. That is going to be a new pitcher on the mound for the Dons, and it is Tay Newman, who typically comes in to close. Newman has been absolutely electric thus far this season.
Yeah, Newman has. He's just been great for this team. You know, this Dons squad is just all over the place. We talked about it. It's just been phenomenal pitching. So look to get a few quick outs here and end this one quietly, and all throughout this game, you know, Spanish Fork has really just been the better team, it's felt like. On offense, they've been able to get the contact and get runners in, and of course pitching wise, you know, Nielsen had a fantastic performance. That one's kind of wild over there to Cox.
Yeah, Gentry Cox up for the Pioneers here to start things off in the 7th. Yeah, that pitch definitely got away from Newman. That one is popped up in the air. Potentially an opportunity here for Horain, and he's able to bring that in. So out number 1 for the Dons on the pop-up there to the catcher by Cox.
Now batting number 23, Hayden Jacobson.
Up now for the Pioneers is Jacobson, the leadoff hitter. Has kind of struggled in this one, has struck out twice, struck out in the 1st and the 4th. He did score one of the 2 Lehi runs in this one. That was in the 3rd. He walked and was the beneficiary of some pass balls and such things to get himself going as he takes a cut at that one for strike 1. Newman is gifted with an absolutely electric fastball. Like, other than Nielsen, Newman probably has one of the best fastballs I've seen, as you just saw it showcased right there. He gets the punch out against Hayden Jacobson.
Making quick work of this lineup, and now Lehi down to their last out. Will be Holland up to hit.
Holland not a bad hitter to have up in this situation. He's got 2 hits on the game. He will take that one for strike 1.
And Newman with 19 Ks so far on the year, not including, that last one.
Gets himself up to 20 then on the season. Granted, there are a couple games on Max Preps that aren't recorded, as that's a big swing and miss there by Holland. The count now moves to 1-2.
I think it just goes to show, 20's already good enough. And you look at Nielsen and all these other pitchers, they just rack them up.
Absolutely do. The Pioneers now down to their last strike here. 1-2 pitch coming. That one is going to be taken outside. It evens up the count at 2-2 for Braxton Holland. Again, as I said, Holland 2 for 3 on the game. Had a double in the 1st and singled in the 3rd. That one just outside. Heard some ooze from the fans here for Spanish Fork. They thought that one was the last pitch of the game. But unfortunately for them, it is not. So a full count here to Holland. We'll see what Newman brings, as that is going to be chopped over to Pintar. Pintar sends it over to first, and that is your ball game, folks. The Dons able to get revenge on the Lehi Pioneers, who were able to take yesterday's game in extras, but today it was all Dons, as they are able to really get things going with that 3-run first, and then just able to cruise control in here for a win. And we will give you today's recap of the game when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
Big hand for being...
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group, with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. Got me good.
But State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing!
Go with the one that's here to help life go right.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage Team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Thompson & Wise.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. We are recapping this one. The Dons just split the series here against the Lehi Pioneers, taking this one at home 5-2. A big 3-run first inning was able to get things going for the Dons and able to take a key victory here in Region 10.
It was a huge victory. I mean, this was such a huge game, and to be able to come home and win another one here at Nelson Field for the Dons, it's got to feel good. Puts them in a good command here. When you look at the standings, they do go to 9-1. They take first place. But of course, we were just talking about it over the break. Salem Hills just won their game against Mountain View 10-0 today, and they will go into a 2-game set with the Dons next week, and we'll see if Salem Hills wins those 2 games, they could end up being the ones taking control of the Region 10 division.
Absolutely can, and as we saw just a little bit ago on a recent broadcast here on Spanish Fork 17, that Salem Hills team is pretty complete. They've got some great pitching. They definitely will give the Dons a run for their money in these last 2 games of the season. For us here, the key to victory here tonight was a man that was not only good at the plate, but was absolutely superb on the mound for the Dons. So our MVP Sports MVP of the game goes to Cy Nielsen.
Cy Nielsen, as we take a look over at the Spanish Fork truck sitting out there. Nielsen was just superb. I mean, 8 strikeouts today, pitched 6 wonderful innings, and really from the beginning was just dominant, aggressive, and attacking the zone, hitting the curveball, the off-speed pitch, and he was able to locate it so well that really Lehi wasn't able to get much contact at all off of him throughout the game, and they were playing from behind pretty much. So a dominant performance by Nielsen. Not only that, but on the offensive end, almost goes for the cycle. He gets a triple in the first, his second time up gets a double, gets a single to close things off, and even takes a pitch for the team, gets hit. But wonderful performance by Nielsen, and it's well-deserved for him as he gets another win this season.
3 for 3 at the plate and 6 stellar innings on the mound. Cy Nielsen gets our nod for MVP Sports of the game as the Dons take this key Region 10 matchup 5-2. You see on the screen the Lehi Pioneers, who are still really well set up for the playoffs as they've had a very strong season, but it is the Dons that are now in the driver's seat to take the region, get themselves home field advantage as they go into the playoffs. And so a really big, huge win here today for the Dons sets themselves up for a monumental matchup coming up against Salem Hills. For our crew here at Spanish Fork 17, we'd like to remind you that we have the first of that matchup against the Salem Hills Skyhawks coming up on Monday. That is going to be at 3:30 p.m. Please tune into that one, because it is going to be a fantastic matchup. Whether that is going to be here on the I can't even finish this because I'm just loving all the dancing going on here by our camera crew, as Travis and Adam both showing us some lovely dance moves. They have gotten themselves on the crazy train, as you will. So as I was saying, it's a big matchup. These last 2 games are going to be key for seeding for the Dons, and really the Skyhawks have the goods to potentially mess things up.
Yeah, the Pioneers have been great too, and we have to give them credit for getting that win yesterday and being able to show that they can compete with these upper teams. But of course, you know, Spanish Fork taking control here, and we can't wait for that game on Monday between them and Salem Hills. Feel free to tune in, invite everybody, bring everybody into this broadcast. And if you've been watching Spanish Fork and League 4 TV, Region 10 baseball, I should say, all season long, it's going to be a doozy for sure, Andrew.
Tune into that one live on Spanish Fork 17 or on our YouTube website at sf17.com or sfcn.org. Please, for the love, please tune in. It is going to be a fantastic series. For our wonderful crew here at Spanish Fork 17, I am Andrew LaRose, sitting beside the lovely Jake R. Scott. Thank you so much for tuning in with us here on Spanish Fork 17, and hopefully we will see you Monday for that big matchup against Salem Hills. We are signing off here today as Spanish Fork takes this big one against the Lehi Pioneers on a score of 5-2.